Hey guys, what's happening? I promised you guys that I would kind of work out the last part of my theory with you. And I'm not going to throw it all out there at you at one time. I want you to be able to think for yourselves and form your own opinions. And the things I'm about to say is in my opinion. It does not make it fact. It is a hypothesis. Prayer Garden of America? Oh man, wasn't that a clusterfuck right there? Excuse my language, but that was something else. I don't know what was going on with all that. Oh man. The only thing I believe that she said was that she was the one that wrote the letters and statements for Don. And that Don and Candace tried to drag her into the phone call prank against Mary. Tried to get her to impersonate a police officer. Good thing she didn't do that, huh? And as far as that night and Candace running down the road and Don running after her and another woman following behind, that was supposed to have been Dale Terry. That's about all she said, really, that I caught before I left the chat. It just, she talks in more circles than Don does. That's why they get along so well. Y'all have to excuse me. I just got off work and I done a prayer video for Summer. My eyes are swelled. I've been crying and I just want to sit here and relax for a little while. Want to talk to y'all about some things. As far as Summer's disappearance, there has been things that have been told that other people has just jumped on that train and they're just riding that train and they believe everything that's said. And I'm sorry, I'm going to publicly go out and say I cannot jump on that train. I don't buy that whole story there. And let me say this, just because I don't buy the story and I don't jump on that train does not mean that I do not have any sympathy for this person in this domestic violence situation, because I myself have been a survivor of domestic violence and I understand, especially the mental abuse. I have spent the last 2.5 years by myself in silence because of such severe mental abuse. So I understand and I do have sympathy. But I have to separate that from the facts and what could have happened to Summer Wells. Some of the things that I am about to discuss with you, again, is just in my opinion and is hypothesis. It does not make it true. It just means that this is a part of my theory that I'm trying to work out. And I'm reaching out to you guys to help me work this last part out. See what you think. Bounce it off of you. Make sure I'm not the only one that's thinking this, and maybe other people are scared to speak out against this situation, even though they feel something's wrong with it too. You know, I have heard creators say, well, if you don't agree with her, you can leave. That's not right. It should be, don't disrespect her, or you can leave. That I could understand. That I could understand. I'm an ice eater, y'all. Got to. So I kind of feel like I've been silenced against speaking out my opinion because creators bigger than myself and people, again, that I respect have put it out there that if you don't agree with it, you can just leave. Well, I'm putting it out there. I'm sorry. I don't buy her whole story about how Summer disappeared. The day Summer disappeared. I believe that there's a whole lot of covering up going on because this individual does not know us, probably don't trust us, but she does know Candace. And she does know Dawn. And she probably does believe in her heart of hearts that what happened was unpreventable or an accident or just could not be avoided at the time for whatever reason. And she's trying to preserve the integrity of what's left of the Wells family and the children. And I can understand that to a point. But you cannot say that you love Summer and then cover that in bullshit. If you truly love Summer, the only thing that is going to help or save her is the whole truth and nothing but the truth. I think the whole red car, red truck ordeal is just something to throw us off. Something to throw off the TBI. I think it's a red herring. Don said when he was doing the video tracing back his steps, we turned in right here. We stopped right here. I saw my neighbor standing right there. And then she says, right behind Dawn, her husband pulls up. So you have the three of them together down there at that shed. Dawn sends the boys back up to the house. So that leaves the three of them down there at that shed for whatever happened. Was somehow that child left the Beach Creek area right up underneath the police's nose. I think had she been down in that shed, they would have found her. But they would not have had any reason to search the neighbor's house at that point. And Don says that once he goes back up to the house, that he is very anxious to leave his property and go talk to the drug dealers in the area. Well, exactly which drug dealers did he want to go talk to? Why was he so anxious? Now, out of her own mouth, she says that 850 pounds of meth at a time comes into that community via her husband. Anybody that can traffic that much dope should have no problem sneaking out a 40-pound child. Again, hate me if you will, unsubscribe, but at least think about what I'm saying to you. Now Jody Sue says that at some point he's even up at the house hollering that he wished EquuSearch would leave and they could shoot him and blah blah blah, and he had even seen Summer's body and blah blah blah. Is he the one that took her over to the trucking company? Is he the one that took her over to Light Holler off of Chimney Top Loop? Or here's one for you. And here's something that Jody Sue has failed to mention. There's a family cemetery right down the road that's named after her husband's family. And it is just a small cemetery for members of that community. And my question being, has that area been searched? She says there's a lot that hasn't been searched. And Jody Sue, girl, I love you. And if any piece of anything that I said is true, I beg you to come forward. I will go into part 3 of this after I get your feedback on this part to see what kind of reaction that I'm going to get for even mildly suggesting that the truth is not being told. And people needs to separate the two incidents. Her domestic abuse needs to be separated from Summer's disappearance. Love you guys.